On Thursday, a decisive deadline at the state capitol. It's the last day the Texas House can consider House bills on second reading. In short, a lot of legislation will die that night. Traditionally, we've seen a lot of tense moments in the chamber before that midnight deadline. We saw a lot of tension Tuesday in the House chamber as lawmakers tried to take up a Senate bill that would ban transition-related health care for minors. As debate started on Senate Bill 14, protesters in the House gallery started chanting in opposition to the legislation. That led Speaker Dade Phelan to ask the Sergeant-at-Arms to clear the House gallery. A few moments later, we saw some protesters being forced out of the hallway outside the chamber. Supporters and opponents of the legislation gathered in the Capitol Rotunda, many raising their voices in protest. Eventually, DPS ordered all of them to leave the building. But lawmakers quickly worked to get the bill back on track, and on Friday's House calendar, it brought back people for and against the bill. Capitol reporter Ryan Chandler looks closer at the debate.
He's the kind of person that from age 5, when he walked into the room, teachers would say, "Your child's smile lights up the entire room."
For Sarah Morales' son, gender transition care was not just life-changing, but life-saving.
He had been self-harming and starving himself and doing a number of different destructive things to his body because he felt like he was trying to force himself to be okay.
Born female, she says her son's image didn't fit his identity. They made the difficult decision to transition with testosterone.
He was thriving again, and this was because he was allowed to move into presenting himself in a way that felt congruent with how he felt in his head.
Those steps will likely be illegal for minors like him after this legislative session. Senate Bill 14 would prohibit doctors from providing minors with surgery that adds or removes genitals, puberty blockers, or hormones like testosterone or estrogen. And it would require minors currently transitioning to wean off their current medication.
Because the politics now has become more important than the science.
As a medical doctor, Representative Tom Oliverson says his bill will better protect children.
You're taking these kids with a mental health condition and totally normal anatomy, and you're destroying that anatomy forever and all time, under the theory that it's somehow going to completely resolve their mental health problems. And the reality is that that is not true.
On the House floor, a series of procedural objections from Democrats stalled the bill. The gallery tense, but tame, as Texans awaited a decision all say could mean life or death. And late Friday afternoon, that bill stalled after a rare point of order raised a procedural objection which sent it back to the Public Health Committee. It will be there for some cleanups, and then it will be back next week, according to the chairman of the Calendars Committee, Lubbock State Representative Dustin Burrows. He said it will come back up, it will not be watered down, it will pass, and it will become law. At the state capitol, I'm Ryan Chandler.
The debate in Texas over transition-related care mirrors what's happening in several other states. On Monday, Oklahoma's governor signed a bill into law banning gender transition surgeries and hormone therapies for anyone under age 18. Several other states passed bans just in the past few weeks, joining others that already had them in place. The states highlighted on this map have passed laws or policies that banned gender-affirming care for people under the age of 18. More than a dozen other states are currently considering a ban.